Scooch again. So it's over your shoulder.
Yep. What's up? Is this Devin? What's up? Check, check, 1, 2. All right. Do you know when I'm going here?
This is Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Hey, and a good afternoon to you, folks. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Casey Cantz. It truly is a good afternoon. Where else would we begin today? Let's take a live look outside this afternoon with our ABC6 Sky Cam and just marvel at what we have out there today. Maybe that shot doesn't do it justice, but we had a beautiful sunrise this morning, and Nick, you really noticed the feel more than anything today.
Oh, absolutely. It is a fabulous day. We'll take you to where it's cold right now, Mount Washington, right where winter never stops, 25 degrees, and it's 2 for a wind chill. Thank goodness we don't have that. We've got a beach scene to show you here from Block Island, where there was somebody walking in that scene just about 15 minutes ago. They've moved out of the view of the camera. 67 in Providence right now with a west wind at 12. That is a new record. There it is. 67 and 66 so far in New Bedford. Also a new record for the date. And we put that on the chart there. We'll continue with the warm weather one more day tomorrow. And I think maybe Saturday might end up being just slightly below normal for temperatures. But here come the clouds. They've given us that filtered sunshine over the last few hours. And now they'll thicken up this afternoon. There's some showers here that are located in central and western Pennsylvania and Maryland as well. And those are going to be moving our way. They'll weaken as they do so, but we will have a few showers in here by the evening, maybe 6, 7 o'clock or something like that. So tomorrow's high temperatures, looking at upper 50s and rain in the morning and afternoon. And also want to mention the wind gusts out of the southwest tomorrow, 25 to 30. By 3 o'clock, a cold front moves through, and the winds shift around to the west at 30 miles per hour, and then the northwest 25 to 30 tomorrow evening. So it does get rather windy, but Friday evening plans are looking good, and so is the weekend with dry weather, but it will be much colder. More on that 7-day forecast coming up.
Boy, we wasted no time breaking that record today either, did we?
I know, that was great.
All right, Nick, we'll check back in. Thank you. Our top story today, an hours-long standoff in Taunton overnight, ending with law enforcement shooting a suspect and taking them into custody. Yanni Tregellis live in Taunton this afternoon with the latest details from officials and those shaken up by this in the neighborhood. Yanni.
Yeah, Casey, a pretty scary morning for residents here on Pratt Street who received a 911 call overnight telling them to shelter in place. And for some of the residents, those living in this duplex back here, they were actually told to evacuate the home after a suspect allegedly came to that duplex with a gun, threatening one of the people inside. From there, a several hours-long standoff ensuing with police and ending with the SWAT team shooting that suspect and then being taken into custody. Parts of Pratt Street and Taunton closed down for several hours this morning as police faced off with an armed suspect outside a home, threatening a resident inside. Police undergoing a 6-hour-long standoff. Those living in the duplex the suspect was posted outside of, as well as other homes nearby, evacuated, and others in the neighborhood told to shelter in place.
I see a lot of police in this street, but I don't have any idea about it happening.
Gilmar Oliveira lives just 3 doors down from where the standoff happened with his wife and daughter, and like many in the neighborhood, he sheltered in place in fear this morning as police and SWAT tried to negotiate with the suspect. Then, at about 6 a.m., the SWAT team shooting the suspect after they allegedly made a gesture with the gun, hitting them in the hand and knocking the gun out of their hand. And from there, police arresting the suspect. Taunton Mayor Sean O'Connell praising the department for how it handled the situation, arresting the suspect and avoiding anyone else being hurt.
Worked all night long through this. They did an outstanding job. It was a tense situation, a potentially dangerous situation, and they handled it like true professionals and true heroes.
Police not releasing any further details about why the suspect allegedly threatened the person inside, but did say the two people do know each other. This morning, Oliveira and others who live on Pratt Street remain shaken up about what happened overnight.
I little scared because I never see it here. I never see this situation here, you know, because this neighborhood is quiet, very quiet.
And following the arrest, the suspect, whose name has not been released yet at this time, was taken to an area hospital to be treated for their injuries. We're live in Taunton. Yanni Trigelis, ABC6 News.
All right, Yanni, thank you. New today at noon. Big news from the NBA today. It is official. No more interim tag for Rhode Island native Joe Mazzulla in his head coaching duties with the Celtics. Mazzulla this morning named the 19th head coach in C's history. A 34-year-old Johnston native took the interim position after the season suspension of Ime Udoka for violating multiple team rules. This morning's announcement by Celtics President of Basketball Operations Brad Stevens also comes with a contract extension for Mazzulla, and he certainly earned it. Celtics entering the All-Star break with the NBA's best record. Checking some of today's other headlines, Pawtucket Mayor Don Grebian announcing today that he will move forward with firing Daniel Dolan, the off-duty Pawtucket police officer found not guilty in a 2021 shooting. The mayor said that the city and the police department will, quote, not allow or enable behavior that jeopardizes our ability to protect the community we serve and protect, end quote. He said Pawtucket police will move forward today with disciplinary actions. Pawtucket firefighters had a busy overnight. Called to Hope Street for this fire. Police say the call came in about 2:15 this morning. A fire in the basement of this home. All residents got out of that home safely. The Red Cross is helping those who were displaced. The state fire marshal is investigating the cause. Another overnight fire, this one in East Providence. This was the scene here just after 4 o'clock this morning. There you see on South Broadway. Police say the fire started here in a shed and then spread to a garage. Nobody was hurt, but a car inside that garage was destroyed, we understand. Some of the neighboring homes also had to be evacuated while firefighters put out the fire, but only briefly. The fire marshal is investigating that fire as well. Scary scene out in front of the State House last night. Providence police say a Rhode Island Superior Court judge was hit by a car and seriously injured last night. Judge Richard Leach was rushed to the hospital, is listed in critical condition, but police say he is stable. Investigators also saying the crash happened further down Smith Street toward a parking lot, not in the marked crosswalk directly in front of the State House, if you're familiar. The driver also stayed on scene and has not been charged as of last check. The Fane Tower redesign, getting another look from the Rhode Island's 195 Commission last night. This is the second design review, and no vote was taken last night, but there was an opportunity for public comment. The 46-story apartment building proposal has come with controversy. You've been following along in the form of years of legal battles with the city and neighborhood activists. It would be built on Dyer Street and become Rhode Island's tallest building. Both sides last night taking to the podium.
I want to thank the Fanes. It's not every day anyone comes walking through the door of a $300 million project. So thank you for investing around, thank you for having patience around, and I can tell you there's a large part of this community that supports your project. Thank you very much.
We have all had quite enough to last a lifetime. Thank you.
Now, in this new proposal, the number of balconies and height of the parking podium is reduced. Discussion on the project expected to continue during the 195 Commission's March 15th meeting. 6 Woonsocket families without a home today after a fire on Elm Street yesterday. 14 adults and 4 children are now getting help from the Red Cross. Firefighters were called to this 6-family apartment complex just after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. One person had minor injuries but did walk out under his own power, we understand. Some pets, however, still remain unaccounted for.
Very extensive house, very big, very compartmentalized, so they had to work to get to the fire. They encountered what they said was a light smoke condition. When I first got here, it looked like a little bit heavier smoke coming from the second floor area. The gentleman from our Engine 2 crew made it into the first door with a little bit of effort. They had to breach the door with the dead bolts that were on there. When they first got inside there was heavy fire on the ceiling area.
In the mutual aid was needed from surrounding communities. Firefighters are still investigating the cause. The Bristol County Sheriff's Mobile Command Center is changing hands. Sheriff Heroux donated it to the New Bedford Police Department. The sheriff's saying it's no longer needed as he refocuses the office on different pathways to public safety. New Bedford Police Chief Paul Oliveira was happy to add it to his fleet, he said. He said he plans to use it at big events in the city as a base of operations.
A few events that, come to mind immediately is the Portuguese Feast, potentially the Whalen City Festival, the Half Marathon. A lot of those events will have an incident command center, and without having this vehicle, sometimes you have to have that off-site or in a building, which isn't always convenient. So what this allows you to do with the proper technology is bring police, fire, and EMS all in one setting.
The chief also saying the command center will come in handy for major police responses. It'll also be available to surrounding communities. Still to come today on the news at noon, we are checking in on national headlines. A gunman opens fire inside an El Paso mall, leaving at least one person dead. This same community rattled only a couple years ago by a mass shooting at a nearby Walmart. And back here at home, a local community wants answers after continuing to hear loud explosions in the area. What's causing them? Our Daniel Coates went to North Kingstown to talk to people there. That story coming up a little later in the show. Back with national news today, and at least one person is dead, 3 others injured following a shooting at a shopping mall in El Paso, Texas. 2 suspects are in custody, and that mall is right next to the Walmart where 23 people were killed in a racist shooting back in August of 2019. ABC's Alexis Christoforous has the details today.
Shoppers inside the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas, running for cover as shots were fired.
We were just shopping around. We were about to leave, and that's when we heard the 3 shots go off, and then I thought somebody was popping balloons, and I peered out, and I saw the barrel of a gun. 1 person was killed. 3 people were injured and transported to a nearby hospital.
We have 2 young male subjects on the upper level by the food court that have been shot.
Police say 2 suspects are now in custody. They're crediting off-duty officers who quickly responded.
We had off-duty officers working at a local establishment within the mall, and we're on scene at 5:08 p.m. in 3 minutes.
Investigators have not revealed a motive for the shooting.
I think it's important for our community to know that they're safe and that the police department and all its agencies have made sure that we continue an active crime scene, but we also make sure that our community is a safe place.
The FBI is assisting in the investigation. They've set up a tip line asking for any photos or video the public may have.
It's important that, as this is an ongoing investigation, that we get that information as soon as possible.
El Paso is still a community on edge after the 2019 shooting at the Walmart right next door to this mall, where 23 people were killed. The gunman in that attack pleading guilty last week to 90 federal hate crime charges. He'll be sentenced in June. Alexis Christoforous, ABC News, New York.
And more news at noon still to come today, including an early taste of spring out there this afternoon. Nick has your full forecast.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Nick Morganelli.
And welcome back to ABC6. We'll take you where there's a little bit of snow in Rhode Island, Exeter, at Yaru Valley Ski Area. There were some little kids getting a ski lesson there just in the last hour. And of course, they're going to be, they'll be able to make snow this Friday night and Saturday morning, and again on Saturday night, because the temperatures are going to drop to the levels where they can make some snow, and that's what all that is, right? That's all man-made. Thank goodness for that technology. Sunlight tracker, we're gaining an hour and 17 minutes between today and March 16th. We gain another hour and almost an hour and a half between March and April. Look at the sunset on March 16th. This is what I love. It's just before 7 o'clock in the evening, so I'm looking forward to that. The daylight savings time begins on March 13th on that Saturday night into Sunday morning. Looking ahead, spring-like through tomorrow. Record warmth is possible again, I think, for New Bedford tomorrow, because the record high there is 58. Probably not going to reach the record high for Providence, which is in the middle 60s, but it's possible again for New Bedford. Umbrellas this evening and Friday morning and midday especially, because that's when we'll get the bulk of the rainfall. There'll be a few showers around this evening, but tomorrow morning and afternoon is when we get the steady rainfall. And it's a seasonally cold weekend, so you get the idea. There's a cold front moving through, right? And that cold front is going to bring in a seasonal weekend. It's actually going to be in the 20s on Saturday morning. Look at the long-range forecast. Very cold in the northwestern U.S., and we are just average here with no more above normal warmth as we go forward here from the 17th to the 21st of February. So we're going to be back to normal, I think, around here as far as weather goes. And there are thin clouds, thin overcast out there right now, but they're thickening up to the west, and there is some rainfall in here. And this will be moving our way, this first renegade batch. There's severe weather here along the mid-Mississippi Valley, extending into Tennessee and Kentucky. There's been some tornado watches out there. Probably see video of some severe weather tomorrow morning at 5 to 7 a.m. We hope you can join us then. Low pressure sliding along this front, and this is the warm air, and this is the cold air. So fronts divide those air masses, right? So the low is going to run along that front. This is Thursday at 9 o'clock. We go into tomorrow morning at 7. We're not raining yet. I think we might have a couple little renegade showers or sprinkles, but the rain does come in 8, 9 o'clock. So the latter half of the morning commute tomorrow, and then it's really raining through noontime and into the early afternoon. The front moves offshore by about 2, 3, 4 o'clock, and at that time we'll see the rain end and we'll see the sky actually partially clear. And there's 3 o'clock, the front's offshore, and then it moves on out. And 8 o'clock tomorrow night, it's windy and it's cooling off. So if you have Friday evening plans, just keep that in mind. You will need a coat for tomorrow night. There's a closer look at that as we go from Friday morning to 10 o'clock. 56 degrees. You notice the temperatures are close to 60 there ahead of that front. There's 3 o'clock. Most of the rain is done, and then we start to see the partial clearing during the evening. So the forecast for tonight, 47. Evening shower is possible, but most of that rain is coming in tomorrow. 58 tomorrow with morning and midday rain. 7-day forecast shows a sunny and cold Saturday. 22 in the morning. A breeze will make it feel like it's in the 30s all day. Even the temperature will struggle to get to 40 on Saturday. Sunday is more normal, 32 and 45. President's Day, a few showers, and then we are waiting late next week to look for a storm. Casey?
All right, thanks, Nick. Back with more after this. Welcome back. Trending now, North Kingstown police are investigating multiple reports of explosions heard in the area. Now, at the moment, it's just a lot of speculation and mystery about what exactly this might be. So we sent ABC6 reporter Daniel Coates to NK to speak to residents there. Take a listen.
Gunshots, fireworks, or explosives? North Kingstown residents are asking themselves, where are these loud booms coming from? Faith Ferris lives on Old Baptist Road and told me these explosions have rattled her home for weeks now.
It shakes my whole house. I grew up, like I said, on the military base in Oklahoma, and it really does sound like testing explosives or some sort of bomb. So I feel like we're just feeling like we're left in the dark here because we have no idea what this is, and it's substantial.
But North Kingstown police are also in the dark, saying Tuesday they have yet to get to the bottom of what's shaking the town. Ferris's 3-year-old son has been spooked by the constant bangs.
He's asking, like, what was that? And I'm obviously looking like I don't know what it is. And I just tell him, oh, that was some thunder. And he's like, but it's not raining. There is something weird going on.
Residents last report hearing the explosion Sunday, including Dawn Souza, who lives off Kings Crossing Golf Club, and heard the two huge booms that night and rushed out her back door.
No smoke, nothing at all. And it just seemed unusual. Very, very unusual. It was horrifying. I mean, I was scared to death. And I looked out my shade out onto the golf course thinking that I had seen an explosion or something out there.
But instead of an explosion, Dawn caught these photos of brightness in the sky. Wednesday, while speaking with her, North Kingstown K-9 units scoured the area to uncover what is disrupting the town.
My friends and neighbors here are pretty afraid, not knowing like if something happened and what it was. I mean, I think the biggest thing is what it was. Like, what was it? If we saw something, maybe that would explain what it was, but there's no explanation.
I'm Daniel Coates, ABC6 News.
And welcome back to ABC6 at noon. We've got clouds thickening up this afternoon. A few showers this evening, but the rain comes in tomorrow between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. Keep the umbrella ready for that. It's a dry, cooler weekend. Casey?
Boy, Nick, enjoy it today, though. Thanks for watching today. ABC6 News at noon. We do appreciate it. We're online 24/7 at abc6.com. For Nick Morganelli, Yanni Trigelis, I'm Casey Cants. Have a great rest of your Thursday.